Bold faith stands on the shoulders of quiet trust. Let me say that again. Bold faith stands on the shoulders of quiet trust. I want to give you a testimony. This was years ago. I listened to Bishop David Oyedepo. It's Oyedepo. And you can find it on YouTube. It's called Unveiling the Stronghold of Faith. He was apparently in the United States. I think he's a pastor in Nigeria, I think. And he said many good things in his time of, when he was speaking during this conference. I think it was a faith conference. And I want to share this with you, with his bold faith. When I heard this testimony, this was probably 20 years ago, I said, Lord, that's the kind of faith I want. That's the kind of faith I want. Am I there? No. But I trust that I'm on the way. He was in his office. And to make a long story short, his wife walked into his office and said, husband, we're supposed to be opening up our Christian school in 1 week and we don't even have a building. And you know what her husband said to her? Is it your school? Is it your school? That just blew up in my mind. I say that often to myself when I, is it your school? Is it your problem? It's God's school, right? And he said the moment he said that, a piece of property came to his mind at that very moment that he saw on the way to work that morning. And he told one of his associates, go check out and see, who owns that property. And so his associate went to that property, found a man, walking on that property, and he said, who owns this property? And the man said, well, who wants to know? Well, he says, he said, Jesus owns this property. Why do you want to know? He says, well, we need a Christian, we need a building, we need a property for our Christian school. And he goes, Christian school? It's yours. Free. Bold faith stands on the shoulders of quiet trust. His faith, this bishop's faith, amazed me. It was so powerful. So like I said, I often say to myself, is it your school? When God doesn't come through for me the way I think he should, or when I think he should. Do that to yourself. Say, is it your school? That takes some faith. I pray this hasn't been an encouragement to you. I pray that after you hear this, that you want that kind of faith. I tell you what, that kind of faith brings so much peace to your soul that the world cannot understand it. You know what, I want to give one more testimony because it keeps coming to my mind that he said or spoke about at this conference. He said when they were opening up a church or, going to build a church, God led him outside of the city. In the middle of nowhere, and said to him, this is where I want you to build the church. And he said that, every Bible school that taught you the rules of where to make a church and where to open a church, it was not in the middle of nowhere, And he said, but he listened to the Holy Spirit and not to what he was taught about how and when and where to open a church. And now, I don't know, he has, I don't know what the number is, thousands coming to his church. So I want to encourage you with this testimony. Don't listen to what the books say or what other people say. Listen to the Holy Spirit. He knows, he's all wisdom. He knows exactly what you should be doing, when you should be doing it. Listen to him and ignore all other voices. And there's nothing wrong with saying, Lord, this is in the middle of nowhere. What is this? There's nothing wrong with asking him questions like that. And I'm sure that he would love to answer you. Like just maybe the answer might be just trust me. Just do it and trust me. Obey the Holy Spirit. You will never go wrong. You will always be walking down that perfect way He has for you when you obey His Spirit. I mean, He knows you better than anybody in the world. And He knows what's going on. He sees the whole picture. We only see the little picture that's around us. So if you get anything from this video, ask God for bold faith. And ask God to help you obey quickly. Because your life and your days will be so much easier and so full of peace that you won't even understand. Because whatever God does, I always say that, whatever the Holy Spirit does, it has to be supernatural. We have to say, you know what, I have no idea how this is going to work. But God knows. And let Him show you His ways. Because the more you trust Him, and the more you see Him come through for you, the more you'll trust Him. And your foundation of faith will build up and get stronger and stronger. I pray this has been an encouragement to you. We're always going to grow. We're always going to learn. And that's what makes life so beautiful. Walking with Him.